Okay, welcome to day 2. This is part 2 of our video training here, and we're working on your signature talk. So yesterday we started with the offer, and we created step by step in 8 different parts your entire offer. Today we're going to go to the middle of the talk. Yay, you see we're jumping around all the time. And we're going to work on the core teaching content. We're going to start with that today, and then we're going to finish it tomorrow. So today is going to be rather light on the work. It's going to be pretty easy. The only thing I want you to do today is to create just the outline for the teaching content. It's going to be 3 to 5 steps of what you want to teach them, right? So sometimes you only have 15 minutes to present, and sometimes they'll give you 90. So then you can expand. You can have 5 steps if you have 90 minutes and expand on each. And if you only have 15 minutes, then you'll teach 2 or 3 steps, and you'll condense it pretty well. So and examples of what those steps could look like. For instance, if you were a health coach, then it could be 5 steps to lose 30 pounds, right? That's what you could teach. And you're like, step 1, buy a book on nutrition. Step 2, hire a personal chef. Step 3, get rid of everything that's in your pantry. Or I don't know, right? You could write 5 steps to balance your hormones and talk about 5 different topics. It doesn't have to be steps. It can be keys to something. If steps really don't work for you, for what you're teaching, you could also teach the mistakes that people in your industry are making, your potential clients are making, right? Or tips or something like that. Here's an example of what I've used in the past for my talk, which was titled 4 Steps to Expand Your Business. So step 1 was let go of your pride and self-doubt, because that's important. Step 2 was create a brand that is brutally honest and reflects who you are. So I talked about that for a few minutes away. Step 3, create a funnel that works for you and suits your strong suits and your personality. And step 4 was put systems in place and work yourself out of the stuff that you hate doing so you can actually enjoy owning your business. Right? And then I would teach them systems and how to work with virtual assistants and whatnot. So make it creative, make it fun. But remember, what you're teaching has to be really useful, right? It has to be useful. You want to give them a lot of good stuff. You don't want to create some arbitrary steps just to have steps for the sake of steps, right? So, like I said, if you can't think of steps, think of something else, 3 mistakes or whatever. Just make it something that is really valuable and interesting. If you can give them experience and really give them something deep, and you can make it experiential, even better, right? Always think how you can have them actually have some sort of transformation in your talk, right? Have them reflect on what you're doing, so it's not just more knowing about and taking notes home, right? Especially if you're a life coach or something like that, then you definitely want to create some kind of transformative experience as well. So get creative with this, think about this. And people say don't overgive. I disagree with that. I told you it's all karma, and so the more you give, the more comes back to you. So be generous. Be generous. Share your best nuggets. Be of service, because it's going to come back to you. People are going to trust that you can deliver. People are going to trust that you can give, especially if you don't work with them later. So don't worry about overgiving, right? At the same time, don't overwhelm them, right? Don't overwhelm them with too much complex information. Don't go into scarcity mindset and say, I have to give, and then, overwhelm them when they will be like, oh, I can't follow this, right? So be reasonable. Less is small, but go deeper. Does that make sense? So for today, your only work is to outline the steps and then maybe do a little bit of thinking. And tomorrow, I will teach you how to teach each of these steps, right? What elements to include for each of those topics, each of those steps. And so also, let's talk about the speaker day coming up, right? So here's what we'll do in the speaker day. It's a paid workshop. The link is included below. What we're going to do is polish and practice each part of your talk in a group setting, which will allow you to redefine based on the reactions you're getting too, right? As you're sharing the stories, you will see, you know, some of those steps, people are like, yeah, that's really great. And some of those people just won't get. So you want to make sure you talk, especially if it's your signature talk and you plan to deliver it over and over. You're really giving people the best content you can. You'll be able to up-level your speaking skills because you're going to be getting up and speaking all day long, right? And so that will allow you to shed some of the nervousness and pick up some new tips and tricks on how to connect with audience and how to really be effective and how to hold your energy. And finally, and most importantly, this is such a good deal because we'll have a camera crew on site. We'll have 2 cameras, most likely, that will record your final evening presentation after you have been, you know, putting together and practicing it throughout the day. And they'll interview a couple of people after you present. So 2 volunteers from the audience, you know, the other speakers, and so that you have some testimonials and you have people say what they think of you. And I think that could be really powerful too. You know, we'll try to be as honest about it as we can, but also positive. So speaker reel, in my opinion, is quite helpful if you're not known and if you don't have the connections, because the organizers, you know, they get a bunch of applications. And I have, you know, as a meetup organizer, I can tell you that some of the applications I got, I just don't know. If I don't know the person, you know, if they send me a speaker reel, great. If I know them, great. But if I don't know the person, I just don't want to take chances because that's an embarrassment for me if they're not good, right? If they're not trained, have never been on stage, right? Or if they're not prepared. So having a speaker reel just shows that you take your job seriously, you're going to prepare, you're going to do well, and gives the organizer some assurance. It's a good idea to have that. So for the speaker workshop, early bird presentation is now open. I'm taking on only a limited number of people, obviously, because we don't have time to videotape everybody. So seats will be going fast, so make sure you grab your seat while it's still available. And if you have any questions, send me an email. So go ahead and register. The link is below this video. I can't wait to see you there. We'll get to work in, you know, a pretty friendly and intimate environment. It's a safe place. Don't worry about it. We got your back. There's nothing to be nervous about. It's going to be a great day. All right, I love you guys. And tomorrow we're going to continue working on the teaching steps. So make sure you look out for the video tomorrow.